You all need to know where your guy is, and if we did need to help, we're going to try to help from here. It's a brand new system. We used to slide crease. We're going to be an adjacent help defense coming underneath the ball this year, but they weren't allowed to go. So he knew he was on his own here. How fantastic is that? And it didn't go great, and sort of there came the help that we said we would have needed. This guy screwed up. He's not supposed to go. But it's that unorthodox scenario where the goalie just makes an easy save. Okay?
Is that jab something you teach?
No. He's not supposed to do that. Yeah, in fact, that's a great comment. So one of the things we talked about, I'm just all these notes of what to do. I keep picking this up. It's not good. These were the little cheats, right? We tried to do the weak hand. We're going to stay on the side. We want to stand up. And one of the other big things we talked about was, and I don't know the term I use the most, but the concept is to stay parallel. Not perpendicular. So, and what I mean by that is, Greg, you come back again. So if Greg has the ball, again, he's here with the ball, and I'm the defender. And as I approach him, okay, I want to get close to him, yes. But I have to get going with him before anything else. So it's a get out near him, and then whatever he does, I just have to get with him. So then I get with him, okay, now I can get closer. So what the mistake a lot of these make, my son did it here, is right when he makes his move, I step forward. And if I step forward in that action, right, I'm going to get beat. So when we talked, and we did drills, and yes, he is better at it. This is the first time he had to defend the ball. And he was pretty nervous. He's a really important player. Greg played with him. He's a really important player playing a brand new position against a D1 team. So he freaked out a little bit right there. Later on in the game, he got it. But we teach this idea of coming up and getting parallel. So, well, I don't care which way you go. Ideally, if I have enough time, he's a righty. Now I approach, and I want to be parallel with him. So that jab step wasn't in what we wanted. So, okay, this one here.
Have him just describe that. You can run it back so we see.
Yeah.
With the first play of the jab step.
So yeah, he just got. So my son, he's strong, and he's a super athlete. And he works really hard, and he's really confident. And one of the principles on defense is you can't take away two things. You can take away one thing. So for example, if Greg comes up here and he wants to go, let's say I don't want him to play his right hand. Okay, so I'm going to step out here. Now when he goes in his left, I can't do this too. Right? That's that principle of you can't try to shut down two things. You can shut down one thing. So he makes the mistake, as you'll see. Thanks, Greg. As you'll see, this guy starts to go upfield, and he tries to shut it down, but he's a lefty, and we told him he was a lefty. He should have let him go to the right hand. You'll see that he gets into trouble because he tries to deny too much. Okay, that throwing that stick out is something we teach. It's just a little bit of an annoyance factor. It doesn't affect his feet, if you'll notice here. So I think I'm going to try this feature. It's kind of, never mind, that doesn't work. So he's square. Don't love that. I would rather him be up top to force him under. So his footwork's a little bit off. But let the athleticism take over. Let it be about a cornerback wide receiver. Let it be about that relationship with two athletes. And now he's trying to get above him, which is fine. But this guy wants his left.
Yeah, are you trying to force him under even if he's a lefty?
We want to have ball pressure over direction. So if ball pressure is premium, that's what we started talking about. So we want ball pressure over direction. Directionality is a privilege of everything else working out. So right here, I wouldn't care about right or left. I just don't want his hands free. I don't want him to have much room to do what he wants to do. And you know, he's all out of balance, stumbling and falling, and we get a pretty good save. The goalie's square, and we sloppy with our slide package, but one guy did it right, one guy did it wrong. This one I showed you the clip here because it's a swing pass through. This is a bad approach, but he's trying to do what we've asked. Okay, that's that parallel run, right? He's not trying to T-bone him, not being perpendicular to the dodge. The dodge is going this way. He's not trying to T-bone him. He's trying to get parallel. Okay, so that's why this clip's good. And again, I didn't pick clips of like favorites or not favorites. These are the shots in order that we gave up in this game. Okay, get out and run with. I like what he's doing. You'll notice here, this is that number 5 again. And it's in his right hand, and he can hammer the ball. Okay, but look what he's doing. We taught about staying annoying. You'll notice we did not bring help. When Greg played for us, and Greg was our number 4, just coincidentally, Greg would have fired out. That was the defense we ran. We were synchronized swimmers, and so he would have come out. We didn't do it here. This guy cut through and stayed with, right? This guy's still covered inside. This guy's still covered. He's on an island. The red team doesn't know it. And I love the way Blake just stayed underneath that hand, and where did that shot go? That guy can shoot the ball, so I'll let him play one more time. Watch where the shot goes just because of the cover. This is all cover concepts, right? None of this is drive. Drive, you'll know, when drive's done correctly, you'll know because he's getting down and he's literally driving. But most dodges in lacrosse right now require really good cover. So watch this here. We feel like that was really good defense to get inside the spokes, if you will, of the bicycle, and just throw a stick in there. That ball went down and over the goal 20 yards. Bing! That's what you want now. And we didn't slide. We didn't have to do that whole exercise of slide and recovery, backside, who's the 2, who's the... So this was what we decided to live with. That was the 3rd shot. I'll just keep going. This is my son, and he plays this terribly. First of all, he's so casual back here. I don't know what he's thinking, but this guy gets on his horse and runs. This is terrible coverage. Right? It is. I mean, I've already watched these clips. Look at the gap he's given up. Yes, he made him go left, and yes, he is a righty, but he's just giving up way too much room. Now, to his credit, I'll give my son Jacob some credit. That is a righty. One of the things I did tell the team at the start of the scrimmage, I told them who the lefties were. There were only 3 of them. Like, those guys are lefties, everyone else is a righty. Ready, set, go. So Jacob knew this was a righty, and he made him, he's overplaying it, obviously, the way he's standing. He's like, you can't come right-handed. But he forgot that he still has to run. So, you know, this doesn't go extremely well. But look at this shot. This is a D1 kid. Sorry. And our goalie gobbles it up. So I'll play it one more time.
So
I'm good with this. Say again?
So you're saying if he closes faster, earlier to the
I
ball,
just want to.
then that doesn't happen because he doesn't have 4 steps to shoot.
Maybe, but you know what? I just want you breathing on the back of his neck.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Because I'm telling you, I have coaching offense as long as I did. You want your hands free, you want to see the goal, you want your feet stable, you want balance in your hips and shoulders, and you want to hammer that thing. If you're just tipped a little as a shooter, it's hard. I don't have to wreck you like a football in the whole tackle. I just have to get you off balance. So I'm trying to teach these guys, stay with him, right? And my own son here, you know, still struggles with this. But in this clip, anyway, he played better. Again, this was his first dodge against, you know, he played better as the game went on. But I would have preferred there was no gap between them. But think about the shot we gave up. Our goalie's right on top of it. And we're not giving up all these dunks inside. Greg, you remember how many times we give up crease goals in this kind of dodge? The guy would dodge from GLE and he'd find this guy, or he'd find that guy. But we're not leaping. So what is it? I was listening to their coaches during the game. They're not sliding, just to go ISO. Well, teams don't practice dodging enough. Isolating. Everybody's teaching you how to dodge, draw, and dump. So I'm going to go with this theme this year of good, beat us in a 1-1. This is a freshman from a very, very bad team in Florida who played great early on, had never been coached to play defense. This is an O-Midi, most athletic kid on his team in high school in Florida, and his lacrosse IQ is hovering around a 2.1, but his athleticism is hovering like an 8.1, right? So we have to work with that. I love the way he came out and approached. The problem is, he got parallel, got running with, but then he forgot this is a running race. And he got beat, and there's no way, if I put those 2 guys on a line out here with a whistle and just said there's a race to that line, he would have won the race. I know he would have. But he got into this mentality of hips and lateral movement with your defense, and he got beat in that step. But you noticed here, we kind of showed down a little bit, which is, you know, I wouldn't have liked it. We're going to go from him, and anyway, we did what we needed to do. But you're going to see a secondary dodge here. So this is the shot. Remember, these are all shots. Well, on this shot here, that's the other athletic guy they have. And I already told you, have 2 phenomenal D1 athletes. But we got him going to his left. Look at this action here. This is that thing I've been talking about of just staying behind. Be comfortable behind the guy. And just lay something on that's just a little annoying. It's like popcorn, right? Isn't that the saying? They say to goalies, like popcorn, it's like easy. So I'll run it again. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have this one again. Just want you to see what we were trying to get done here. Whoa, that's new, isn't it? Okay, so we'll watch it again. Didn't do what we wanted. Our defense helped. We talked about that during the timeout. I said, we're not helping Nick, but Nick's got Orem, blood, and he can't quite. And so he wanted to help. He's too nice. So, but, we didn't want him to go. Because I really wanted to see what this guy would have done with his shot. He's so depreciated in his angle that this guy would have caught up eventually. And we do a drill literally at the top of the box right here where the offensive player has the ball like there. Defensive player is about 3 steps behind him when I blow the whistle. The only rule I have is you can't cross the middle. I call it the Z line. It's the greatest term in lacrosse if you don't use it. The Z line is this line here. A lot of terminology in lacrosse is based on both sides of the field. And so the only rule I have is when we do this thing is he'll start right here offensively with the ball. And he can't cross the Z line. So he has to try to score from that direction. So we've seen this in practice. We've done this in practice. And I wanted to see the shot scenario. Nick decided to be nice because he's a good kid. But the thing that's really cool, watch the shot this all-conference kid gets. Our goalie sees it clean, and off we go. Okay? So I'm teaching you something that says you just got to teach defense. You got to teach the individual component. You got to be committed to it. You've got to buckle down to some concepts. For me, it's this cover concept. And I told my guys our practices in the fall it was like a laboratory. We're just going to kind of figure things out. So I'll go through a couple more clips and see if it makes any sense. Cover far outside the box. This is a close defenseman. He started every year for us. This, unfortunately, is an omitty. Our level at D3, D2, D1, and Pro, this is a big part of the game now. This guy was just on offense on the other end of the, other end of the field. This guy, we were on offense, and this guy was playing defense over here on this side. Right? We turn the ball over, they clear it, and he stayed on. He didn't sub off. So this is a sub game. This is a two-man game, which normally he plays this a lot better. He kind of just went to sleep. You'll notice here we kind of needed the help, kind of didn't. But Bryce decided to take the ball. Right now, I'm happy. And then watch what happens. Yeah. I only score goals. I don't play defense. So he gave up, right? I mean, you can all see that very quickly. But again, I didn't take out any of the goals, or any of the clips. So this is their first goal. We're up 2-0 right now. This is their first goal. This is a D1 team. And if we're going to give up a goal because our oldie forgot how to play two-man pick in transition, all right, it's not the best thing in the world. I like the way we stayed away for the most part, and then we came in late, but if that's what they have to do to score a goal as a D1 team, all right, because you should be scoring a lot more in some other ways. If you have questions, holler. This is a great restart. This is a ball at midline. This is a ball just cleared and kind of went out of bounds. That's a starting defenseman. That's a starting defenseman. So we talked about covering way out of the box. So the Atlas clips, those guys are at midline. So we've been teaching that to our guys. One of the things I'm learning is that I got to push guys out to outside their comfort to see what they can do. And I think when you teach young kids, it's the same thing. Just give it a run. One of the things we do in a lot of the drills like this is we don't let them play with sticks. And just make them run. Just make them run with. So this is a restart. He's telling the ref, I got the ball, I'm ready, I'm ready. So watch how this close defenseman against a starting attackman, he just runs with them. He did everything. This is Fuge, he's a senior this year. Right? The thing he would have done before, he would have been standing where, Greg? He would have turned, facing him.
Or he would have been in the box.
What, your penalty?
No, I'm like box.
Oh yeah, he would have been in here.
Yeah.
When Greg played, he played with this guy. This guy, he would have had turned around, squatted, facing. Right? Isn't that what you're used to? I mean, that's kind of what's being taught. And I said no. Get sideways, stand up, and run with it. And this is again, it's just a matter of comfort, right? So
this guy's a lefty, number 2.
No, he's a righty. Oh wait, no, you're right. Yeah, this is the lefty, which is why he's standing on that side. Yeah. Now, the foot race. This is that athleticism component, right? He didn't take a real good angle. He's got a little bit of a step on him, but watch what he's doing through the whole thing. Is he giving up? Is the team panicking and running slide help? This is a D1 team with all their offensive powers back. Look what he does at the end of the shot. Oh, actually, he didn't get it on this one. Okay, but what did they get out of it? We made him go to his right hand. We trailed him on the left side. He lost a little bit of the gap here, which is going to cost him. But he's staying on that. He's got to shoot right-handed when he's a lefty. We're not giving up layups by panic sliding upfield. And he took a right-handed shot that I guess doesn't hit the goal. Or it's just not a great shot. That's the kind of defense I want us to build our program around now. Why? Because it's my mentality. It's the way I built the offense. This one's a goal. Now, this is the drive concept. If I listened to Dave Petromala teach. Dave Petromala, for those who don't know, is the head coach at Johns Hopkins, and I was at a convention just back on the 1st of December, the Annual State Convention. He talked about everything that his team did wrong in the whole year. It's crazy. What he did is he took every game they played, and he's a defensive coach, and if they made a mistake, he charted it on, this is what we did wrong, and then he kept track. So if it was an on-ball approach, if it was a slide, if it was a recovery, if it was a communication, if it was two-man pick, he just went through it all. So he said the one thing that he hadn't been coaching enough and was showing up the most on the film was this drive concept. So my ears were like, oh, let me listen. And all he said was, so again, Greg, grab that stick so you don't need the ball, or I don't care if you have it. This is something we started to teach about drive. And I'll write it down before we get Greg, but I'm going to write feet, and I'll explain that in a minute. All right, and hips. And it's not what you think when you hear those two terms. So I want you to be right-handed right here. Imagine the same sequence. The goal is right here, maybe. It would be lefty, but imagine he's coming up to score right-handed, and this is kind of GLD. You with me? So what he talked about, and what I taught our guys were two concepts. One, a lot of times we get into a drive mode, right? We start driving where we lean forward. We lose all of our athleticism. We lose all of our balance and all of our edge. What I started to tell our guys is you have to drive where your feet are really like matched up. So this is the wrestler in me, right? So this is you got to get here, you got to get low, and you drive from here. This is a bad clip for Brad. Where's his hands? Are they here? Or up here? So he's already in trouble. Is there a gap? Yeah. Is he leaning forward? Yeah. So he's doing three things wrong, right? Hips, I got to get lower than his. Feet, I got to get close to him, and now I can drive. So our drive concept, and Petromala talked about this, is you've got to get lower, closer, and you can't be leaning forward. So that was the third thing, right? How do we describe that? The way I described it, we did this really cool joke. Greg, let me borrow again. Just stand right here and face that way without the stick. Make believe, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to lead. If I have the ball and I'm a lefty and he's defending me, and make believe you're going to drive me from your hips, just like give me a push, right? Well, no, with your hands, but I mean correctly, right? So if he's going to drive me, yeah, that looks pretty good, right? Okay, so one of the things we did as a drill this year, I want you to do that, but while I hit you, you can't move your feet. So make believe you're driving. So he's out of balance. So now you know what I'm doing, right? So get athletic, all right? And as I push, you're going to push him. You're going to drive him, and then I'm going to drive you at the same time. Okay, we're going to work on your balance. This is a really cool thing. Okay, go. No, you push first. Like you chunk them or drive them, you're out of balance. See what I'm doing? I didn't. You would have benefited so much from this if we would have had it. But you know what I'm saying? You do it to me now, right? So if I'm driving with this guy I'm defending right here, boom, right? Okay, that's okay, because I didn't get where, right? Plus I'm chubby and out of shape, and I had to give the bunny hop. But anyway, the thing is, I'm here, right? So as he pushes on me, when I punch, right? I want to do all of this, right? Where my hands don't move. Okay? You ever work with face-off guys? You know, they teach you to go down to your hands, and they tell you to move your hands, and the rest of you doesn't move. Face-off guy here knows that, right? Anybody coach face-offs, like, the idea is you get down and face off. I won't go down low because it'd be bad. But the idea is you tell the guys to lift their hands,